Hello, sixth graders. Today is Monday, September 21st, and today we started out with a little bit of cleanup from last week. Make sure that you've turned in your cursive spelling words that were due on Friday, and then you should have also written your new list that you got on Friday in your planner. We want to try writing these words as much as possible to help get them trained in our brain. Now, this morning, I assigned that your spelling should be, your new list, week 5, should be written in cursive and turned in this Friday. So please make sure you do that, do this Friday. And red group, this is how I went through and sorted your words with the class today. And I think I'm missing a green today as well. So red group, you have oo and u words, so the long u sound. And green group, you have word parts is what your list is called this week. And you have a plethora of different prefixes and suffixes. I tried to group some of the ones that were the same, if they ended with ment, if you had to drop a silent E before you add ION. Just showing the root word and the prefix or suffix hooked onto it, the orange ones with the prefix and suffix underlined, and the difference between existence and annoyance, that they both, whoopsie daisy, sound the same. So you can pause this wherever you need to so you can see it. But they have an ANCE or an ENCE ending. Anyway, so a quick little lesson on spelling first of all, and then most of the rest of our lesson was focused on what you see on my screen. Maybe. Here it goes. I only want you to pay attention to one side at a time. So today I shared my personal narrative, or at least the beginning of it, and our lesson was on how to elaborate in your writing. So I'm going to start by sharing the first one, and then I'm going to show you how I was able to elaborate on it piece by piece. Another reason to stay away from starchy foods. It's the title of mine. When I was in 5th grade, I was really shy. I often worried about what other people thought about me. One day, well, first of all, how did I start mine? What did we call that if I tell you just about me? It's the glimpse of the character, a glimpse of me. So I'm telling you all about, I'm kind of setting the stage so you know some background information about me. One day I went to school excited about lunch. You guys know those days where you don't want to get out of bed, but you know it's going to be like Crispito Day, so you do. That's how this was for me. I was excited about lunch. You see, my mom never let me take my own lunch, so I ate hot lunch even on days I didn't like what was on the menu. Lunchtime finally came. Hot dogs and french fries. Yummy! I sat through lunch like any other day, talking with my friends and enjoying my food. Recess time was nearing, so I raised my hand to be dismissed from lunch. And what I want you to notice in my writing is I spent 3 small paragraphs setting the stage before I even get to the action. That horrible day in my life. I have just spent all this time, even though I start with a glimpse of the character, I still use setting, I still tell the events in the order that they happen, and I try to build so you understand, you have some context for what my day was like, and obviously how excited I was to eat lunch. On this side, I have rewritten it. So this would be like if you take a piece of paper and you fold it in half, hot dog style. Of course, I'm not going to be able to. Take me 5 minutes to do it. But if I fold it in half the long way, but I did it on the computer. And if your story isn't too long, you can actually go up into format. And if you hit columns and tell it to, you can get yours to do what mine is doing right now. So basically, I wrote the first draft, and then I came up, I hit return at the end of it until I got into the second column, and I restated my title. And now I'm going to tell you the changes I'm going to make in my first paragraph. Remember what it looked like. When I was in 5th grade, I was really shy, worried about what other people thought. 5th grade year was tough for me. If anyone ever noticed me as being or looking different, I was like a deer in the headlights. All I ever wanted was to fit right in with everyone else. So here I'm still starting with a glimpse of me, but I've changed it. I added in some figurative language. I use a simile here, like I was a deer in the headlights. And I just reworded it in a way that tried to use more detail that would get you to understand my feeling a little better. My next paragraph, I'm talking about one day I'm excited to eat lunch. Here I go again. One unlucky day I went to school unknowingly walking right into the worst day of my elementary career. All I could think about was that I was excited to eat hot lunch that day. You see, my mom had a firm belief about school lunch. Even on goulash and mixed vegetables days, she would make me eat hot lunch. She would bark out, "No, you are not taking your lunch," before I even had a chance to explain how gross it was to eat vegetables with no salt. You guys know those mixed vegetables I'm talking about? Lima beans in them? Yes, I had to eat them, and back in the day they made you eat half of it, and they could tell if you shoved it to the side. Anyway, so I went from telling you that I used to have to eat hot lunch every day because my mom made me, to giving you concrete details. Goulash, mixed vegetables, no salt. I even added some dialogue in with my mom talking. And then the next paragraph I did was about lunchtime. It's hot dogs, french fries. I'm excited, talking with my friends. And or I did talk to my friends, and recess time is coming. And my last couple paragraphs over here, I say, today though was going to be different. Salty fries and a salty dog. Hey, Heather, want to sit together at lunch? I asked my best friend. Sure, I will sit at the middle table so we can sit together. And I have written this much, and I haven't even finished my lunch yet. I'm just making plans for lunch. So this is just a quick lesson to show you that by adding in some dialogue, by adding in detail, you can elaborate on your first draft. Now, how to do it. If you're on the computer already, you go in and tell it you want to have 2 columns. If your 2 columns don't all fit on one side, you need to change the size to a small size. And then you can blow it up to a bigger percentage. If you did yours on lined paper, fine, get a new piece of lined paper. You fold it in half, hot dog style, and you start with 3 sentences at a time, 2 or 3 sentences at a time. I would write down on my left-hand side of my paper, when I was in 5th grade, I was really shy. I often worried about what other people thought about me. So I'm going to write down 2 sentences. Then I'm going to open my paper, and right on the other side, I'm going to look at, well, how can I make this better? How can I make my reader really feel the angst I felt as a 5th grader and how nervous I always was? So that's when I added in this. So that's how you will do it. You will think of, well, what are some more descriptive words I can use? And so your mission for today, at the end of all that, is you need to finish elaborating. So you should have had your rough draft or your first draft done for today. And now your assignment is to go through and elaborate the whole thing. But take it a few sentences at a time on the left and elaborate on the right. You also need to read for 20 minutes and write your words, your new words in cursive, and they're due on Friday. So elaborate, spelling, written in cursive, and it should be in your planner already, and read for 20 minutes. Have a great day.